It's gift giving season, and with that, every marketing firm is trying to figure out how to take your money. A firearm is one of the most amazing gifts you can receive. If someone takes the time to get you a firearm, they clearly hold you in high regard. Having been on both sides of the gun counter for this, I can tell you it's a fairly nerve-wracking thing to try and figure out which is the right one. So I've compiled a list of things that you should avoid. Now that being said, if there is a particular gun you want, please give people the UPC. It just makes life way easier for everybody involved and you get what you want. That being said, here's a list of things to steer clear from. First, snub noses. Snub nose anything. The amount of snub noses that have been brought into gun shops as used, completely unfired, is something of a joke in the industry. Usually it's a husband following the advice of a boomer with uncontrolled diabetes that slinks in with them. But snub noses are hard to shoot, uncomfortable to shoot, and are pretty much universally hated by new shooters. Now, I myself have said that there is a good use case for snub-nose revolvers, but let somebody else make that choice and don't force them to feign gratitude as they look at it on Christmas morning. Next up, Christensen. Never Christensen. Don't even look at a Christensen. Even if a person gave you the exact UPC and model number of the Christensen they want, don't. In fact, DM me and we'll set up a conference call on why you shouldn't touch a Christensen with a 10-foot pole. For the uninitiated, Christensen is a company that used to make really good stuff until they decided that quality control was an optional expense they'd rather not pay for. I've seen Christensens come in that couldn't produce a 7-inch group at 100 yards, only to go back to warranty and come back from Christensen Arms saying that the rifle is just fine. Let Christensen die like it should. Lever guns. Lever guns are great. There are few families of firearms that are as iconic as lever guns, and for that matter, as varied as they are. With Marlin back from the dead and Henry pumping out new flavors almost weekly, and Rossi even making some compelling models of their own, it's a wide field. And lever gun lovers are persnickety. Just like taxonomists, they'll argue over the most minuscule and seemingly minor differences in the species. And after a Bud Light and a half, it will inevitably devolve into a awkward brawl that no one wants to be around. Threaded versus unthreaded, large loop versus small, buckhorn versus peep. Seriously, just let this one lie and find another way to ruin Christmas dinner. 22 clones. Listen, I'm just as offended that I can't get a proper G36 as the next gamer is. And don't get me wrong, there are some good 22 clones out there, particularly the ones from Walther/Umarex. But there's some dismal ones too that are going to be as disappointing as your sophomore homecoming dance. Don't risk not getting lucky with a 22 clone. 22 clones take due diligence to figure out which ones are worth it, which ones aren't. So unless you're ready to do the research and write a graduate level thesis on the topic, leave this one lie. One thing that isn't a terrible gift is pretty much anything from Eclipse holsters. I've carried almost exclusively in Eclipse holsters for 5 years since I got my first one, and they come in an insane variety of pistol fits and patterns. The quality is top notch. And now I've got a discount code for you guys. Code UPSPIN will save you 5% on your next order from Eclipse holsters, but keep an eye out for their holiday sales where you can save even more. Link in the description. Colt. Any product from Colt. While their name isn't as sullied as that of Christensen Arms, they still can't go 15 minutes without claiming bankruptcy, and they've managed to screw up government contract after government contract. Hit or miss quality control and overinflated pricing just makes these impossible to recommend. If you need proof of this, go check out Wyoming Gun Project's Trials and Tribulations with a high-end 1911.
Okay, still not great. Oh my gosh. Always count on you, Colt.
I'll link that video in the description. This is just another one of those ones to avoid and look to a better option. 3-inch 1911s. Yes, this piggybacks off the last statement a little bit, but plenty of manufacturers make a 3-inch 1911. Listen, we live in an absolute golden era of concealed carry pistols, and a 3 or 3.5-inch 1911 and 45 was never one of them. If you're one of the people who raves about how good 3-inch 1911s are, I'm sorry, Your dad is still disappointed in you. Try therapy.
Stop it. Get some help.
The tiny 1911s are heavy as a boat anchor, about as manageable as Rosie O'Donnell when she's off her meds, and offer crap capacity. I know gun stores are desperate to offload these, but don't get suckered in. SIG's current shame, the P320. I know there are loads of them out there on the used market that can be had for peanuts, but right now it's just not worth the liability of them. I also know that they shoot really well and have loads of aftermarket support. I am keeping mine, if only for an oddity to have in the future. But right now, giving one as a gift is just not worth the risk, particularly until we can get a concrete answer on what's going on with the uncommanded discharges. But now that the eye of Sig Sauron is upon me, I better get out of here. If you're watching this when it came out, then happy Thanksgiving. If you're getting around to it a little bit later, then Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.